Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to Valley East, USA. Alright, we got a couple things going on today. If you recall from one of the previous episodes, we planted our field, this field down here, with barley, and now it's ready to be harvested. And if we look carefully, we have a good moisture level. Nutrients are a bit lower than I would like it to be, or nitrogen's a bit lower, only by 1, but pK is really low, so we'll see what the yield ends up being. So we're going to have to deal with that, but until that time, we'll just leave it like the way it is, because we can't change it anymore, because it's already ready to go. Anyways, as you can see, I sprayed a little bit of moisture on the ground there, because it was a little bit low in soil moisture, so I sprayed a little bit of water in order to increase the moisture level, and hopefully that will make a difference. It definitely has. They went from like 0% moisture to like 40% moisture, so it's definitely made a difference. We'll just park this guy in the end here, like so. There we go. Nice. Good. Alright, so I did pick up a couple of bigger John Deere tractors. And these are the ones from Joe Lindbergh. He publicly released those, by the way, FYI. Those are on American Eagle. Are they on American Eagle modding? They're definitely on Mod Hoster at the very least. So we have a 7290, which is 60 more horsepower. We have a 8370, which is 313, and this is also 313. And I think we have. Did I put the timber tractors in here? Of course, I didn't again. I gotta remember to do that. But we have a couple other options, basically, so we'll see what happens. Let's grab this guy and put him on the grain wagons over here, and we'll get him rolling doing that, because we need to get that harvested. There we go. Is that both of them attached? I think it is. Oh, good. Excellent. So this is F10 unload. And we'll onto here. And we'll set it to manual selection. Like so. And then we'll hop into our combine, which is already running and ready to go. So what we'll do is we'll start in the bottom corner again, and we'll go from there. So what we'll do is I think we'll start some of this, or I'll start some of it, and we will go from there. So let's see, what is it, a 12 meter header? No. 12.6, 10, starting corner, southwest, heading east, headland, 2 headlands maybe before. That's probably good. Alright, let's get set up over here. So let's select our header, disengage that, unfold our combine. It's funny, I saw a picture on Twitter the other day of it was a class, a tracked class. I think it was a 500 series, I think it was. Anyways, they had a 5000 series, and it would look pretty darn slick actually. So you don't see them. You don't see many of them in Canada, so it was interesting to see what they had to say about it. All right, let it do its thing. It shouldn't be. Is it gonna be okay? Got our height automatic. It's not dropping a swath. This is good. Perfect. And this guy's just gonna be waiting for that combine to come in. This is what happens when you when you let the computer decide where to start and how to start. It never works out well. And there's a good example. There we go. Should be fine now. Don't know why, but that first little starting part is always like the worst for it. Oh goodness. Perfect. Alright, so we also have the Krone Big M currently mowing once again, which is good for us. The nutrients are a little bit lower here again, even though we put down some even though we put down some nutrients, but I'm not sure. I guess the real, in an ideal world, what we would do is we would spray some manure. And speaking of manure, do we have a front loader? No, but we can get one. There's this, which is a front loader, which has $165,000. But, and this one is $65,000. And these ones, I think, there's a couple small ones in here that are actually front loaders. Does it show? I can't remember. Oh, it does show them. That's 90. So, the reason why I say about front loaders is that now that we have, where is it here? Let's hop into our truck. Well, he's just going to sell some plums at the moment. We should actually make this into plum wine, but for now we're just selling plums. That's fine. So what I'm trying to say is, if you recall, we actually had a. Is this guy over by it? No, he's just over by the shop. We actually had a tractor, We actually had a time where we made chaff, and when we made the chaff, what happened was. We actually made manure with it because it wasn't compacted properly. So we actually have like a whole load of chaff. How much is this tractor worth? Not a lot, I don't think. 15,000. That'll bring us up to 60. So we could change it out for something else. Could be in the keyword here. I'll keep that in mind. It's a nice little tractor to have around. A couple people were saying it looks like it was made from. Looks like it was reskinned for 2015, from like 2013 or 2011. It definitely was. I can't deny that. But it's kind of a nice older tractor. Oh, we need to deal with that actually. So what we can do is take this back to the farm, and we actually do need a front loader now for sure, because we need to deal with the wool pallets. And maybe what we'll do is we'll take a load of wool pallets to wherever we have to sell wool, which it would be down by the Dairy Fresh LLC apparently. Alright, so that's what we'll do. We'll grab the Ford and we'll grab our, what else can we grab? Yeah, we're kind of in a bit of a predicament. A bit of one. We'll put this guy over here. Now I'll show you what I'm talking about. So there's this area, this bunker right here. If you recall, we filled it a few episodes ago, and what's happened is it is actually full of manure, essentially, because we didn't compact it properly. So we can actually use that for other things, such as spreading manure, which will be good for us because we have the soil mod. And that greatly increases the fertilization. Yeah, we'll park that there, and this truck is stuck. I know this. There we go. Do we make $5,000? No, not quite. So we'll just take the truck ourselves back. Alright, so like I said, what we'll do is oh my goodness, terrible driver here. It slides, so it makes it a bit weird sometimes we want to turn. Now we'll take this turn right here. Yeah, like the back end slides this a lot. As soon as you hit the gas at all, it's like, oh, let's just do the power slide here. Which is not what you want half the time. Yeah, so what I'll do is we'll grab the wool pallet and we'll take it and go sell it and see how much money we can make from that. That's sliding. Alright, also what I'll do is I'll meet you back at the farm. Alright, so we're back at the farm, and I got the Ford hooked up to the PJ trailer right here. And there is the wool that we need to take. So we actually can't move that wool at all right now. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take a nice nonchalant drive over to the shop, because what we need to do is we need to buy a front loader of some sort. And I have one in mind, and hopefully it'll work the way I want it to. We shall see. There we go. Nice 40 kilometers. It's funny, this truck, if you hit the gas or if you hit the brake, I find that it really it needs to be tweaked, is what I think. So it really depends on how you drive, and apparently I drive in such a way that encourages oops, this is not the way I wanted to go. Encourages sliding, because I guess just put my foot down just a little bit too hard half the time. There we go. So, whoa, what was that? Didn't like that turn, jeez. So we're gonna try and buy the skid steer. This is actually something we haven't really bought, even though it's been around for such a long time now. I just haven't. I just don't use it very often because most of the farms I have are much bigger than a skid steer would require. But a skid steer would be the perfect size of vehicle over by the. Really, I was going like 50 kilometers an hour. You really shouldn't slide that much. It's a perfect sized vehicle for over by the sheep. And lucky for us, the John Deere right there, he's going to go sell a load of hay to the high school, and then that will be just enough money for us to get that skid steer, one hopes. So we're gonna see what happens here. We have $46,000, and I believe the skid steer is about $50,000. So each load we make about $15,000 roughly. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah, it's funny. With a nice gradual turn, it's not so bad, but like sometimes if you take a turn just a little bit too much with this truck, it slides a little bit. The best truck for handling I have ever seen was the Land Rover truck that came out a while back. That thing it looked nice, and it was actually one of the really, really nice tractors, or trucks I should say, for handling. It did a fantastic job. Haven't seen too many other trucks that handled quite that well. Ooh, just missed that. That handled quite that well, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, we'll unfold the trailer here. Just get ready, because the shop is over here. So that John Deere's going to sell those bales momentarily. And once they do, we'll be able to buy the skid steer. Just gonna grab a quick sip of coffee. 46, come on. Sell them already. It's unloading the bales, and it's taking its time apparently. Yes. It's because it takes forever for that table to tilt and all that jazz. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna buy the JCB skid steer. Oh, it's only $49,000. So let's buy the JCB skid steer, the bale spike, a pallet fork. Oh, I wonder if this pallet fork will work with the. Just buy them both. I wonder if it'll work with the bales. I'm not sure. That one this one won't do what I want it to do, but. Yeah, for those who have never seen the JCB DLC, this is one of the skid steer that comes from it. One of the nicer ones out there. My favorite one still is the Bobcat, I think, and that's just primarily because it had lots of little extras. Whoa, that made it really neat. All right, so let's take this up here. Looks like it has no problem there, so we'll lower that. Like so. Drop it down there. And then we'll grab the pallet forks and go from there. So, oftentimes, I don't do much hauling, and that's because usually the shop is like crazy close. But in this case, where I'm going with this is not close at all, so I feel this is the best choice here. It is a nice looking DLC though. Funny little story. The other day I saw like a truck with like a lowboy trailer, like a full lowboy, like not like this, like a gooseneck, but it was like a full, truck trailer on a semi truck, and it had like a skid steer on the wheels like this, and that's all that was on it. But it was in like the largest trailer I've ever seen for a skid steer. But whatever. All right, so that's that. Fold those up. We'll lock the load, and let's see how this works. I can see already that the bale spike is moving. Let's see if the other stuff stays on. Only time will tell, I guess. Well, it seems to be doing alright. Okay, well, that's good. So let's take a little trek over to the sheep, and we'll go from there basically and see how this works out. Well, it seems to be staying on, that's good. It still slides more than I want it to. But this is the best way to get the skid steer over there. Like if you try and get a skid steer, if you try and do it just by driving it, it takes forever. You can do it, but it definitely takes a long time because skid steers aren't necessarily known for their speed. So I know a lot of people. I remember back when I worked as a landscaper a long time ago. One of the guys I used to work with used to do like wheelies with the skid steer. I don't know if the boss would have liked that, but that's what he used to do. But that's what he did, so I don't know. Have you ever driven a skid steer before? Let me know in the comments. It is actually one of the because of the way it's designed, it's actually a lot of fun to drive these things. They're very nimble, really nice for like in the barn and whatnot. They're very versatile, but only if you have the implements for them, right? So like if you don't have all the attachments or the proper attachments, like they can be kind of useless if you only have like one thing, but it depends on the size of your farm and whatnot, right? So if you have like a big farm, probably not the best implement because it's going to be probably too small, and that's where you go, of course, to a front loader tractor. But if you have a smaller farm, they are extremely nice. All right, make this turn here, nice and gradual. Is it still on? Nope. Oh, barely. Look at that. That's okay, as long as it stays on until we get to the sheep farm. That's all I care about. The reason why I got the bale spike is because there's a couple bales over there I want to move. It's only $600 anyway, so it'll be it really doesn't make a whole big difference if I have it there or not, based on prices and whatnot. Alright, so let us unfold the ramps here, and I'm going to deal with this crone. Oh, he's stuck on a bale. There we go. Look at that. That combine's like done now. That's awesome. Alright, let's go for 8 Mo 13. And just let him do his thing. Good. Let's go back to here, and we'll grab the JCB deal. How do I call it DLC? Let's put it in group 3. There we go. I don't know if you saw that or not. Are they... Oh, it's because it's locked. Unlock load. Yeah, that's weird. The locking script. Alright, let's test this out real quick. Let's see, can we actually... Probably not spike these, but we're going to give it a go, see what happens. Oh, apparently you can. Okay, well then I can just use this then. I don't actually need the bale spike now. I wasn't sure, it's been a long time since I've tried to use pallet forks for this type of thing. But if you get a bale spike, and you get one of the... one of the ones, like, it has like, it's basically set up like this, except the only difference is that it is spikes instead of pallet forks things. So blades, I'm not sure you even call them blades, but whatever you want to call them. So this works out really nicely. Sweet. Just place that down there and back up. Sweet. Let's pick up that wool pallet. I have no idea how much you make from wool. I have not I have not picked up wool in a long time, so... is that in? Nope, it missed the... There we go. It missed it just by a little bit, but it's good now, so... I think this is an extend too? I forget. I thought it extended too. Apparently not. Alright, so let's put this on the trailer here. And what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna leave the skid steer on there just in case, and we're just gonna sell that bale spike because we don't need it. I wasn't sure if we were going to need it or not. Alright, excellent. So let's fold that back up, and Massey Ferguson. Why is the Massey Ferguson slipping? The darn trees. They're getting in the way, apparently. There we go. Put that back on track. New Holland is done. This is good. And we will send the driver home. Excellent. This is very good for us. There we go. That's what I wanted. And we can lower that down. Detach. And stop the driver. Nice. So there you go. That seemed like it was really quick to do that, but don't have any problems with that. If it does a good job, well, relatively good job, it'll be nice. I'll be curious to see whether Courseplay finally comes out with the updated course generation. Maybe it has come out already, I just haven't noticed. Which is entirely possible, of course. I can't keep track of everything. There's too many things out there these days. So, we'll have to see. One of the things we're definitely going to have to do is expand our farm, and we're going to have to buy another field, I think. Soon. Maybe, I think next episode we'll do that. We'll have to buy a new field. And then we'll be able to make some money. Well, more money than we're already making. It's funny, we have such a small little hay farm, but we're so productive. Actually, I watched OLF. He tested out the new John Deere W. Oh no, that's not what he tested out. He did try out the new John Deere's new square baler, and he was pleasantly surprised by it, which is good. He actually went in with really low expectations, but what happened was he tried it and liked it, so he might get it. Apparently, his dad was saying that he should just get it and be done with it. But he doesn't want to get it this season. He wants to wait till next season. So he's still going to check out the Heston baler to see how that compares. So we'll be curious to see how it all ends up. There we go. Nice. And hop into this guy, and we need to go all the way. Let's lock this load first, because it's going to fall over the place if we don't. And we need to go the same way we just came, basically. Because where the actual location is right far down where we just came from, basically. So, but luckily there's a nice little shortcut here. So let's take this right here on the right. Nice. And what I'll do is I'll drive this, and I'll meet you when we get there, because it's a long way. Alright, so we're just coming up to the wool sell point, which is up here, it looks like. And I should be able to get there. I think that's probably the exit, based on what I'm seeing at least. I wonder if we can just drive through here. Let's just test this out, so we know for next time at least. Hey, nice. $2,000? That's not terrible. So $2,000 for a wool pallet? It's not bad, I guess. It's always nice if it's more, but that's not a bad... I should have taken this corner wider now that I'm looking at this. So yeah, there you go. $2,000 for a pallet? That's not terrible. I don't know if it changes a lot or a little, but there we go. We'll send this guy back, and he's just going to go back to where he came from, because this is basically the same area as he sells the you know, plums. There we go. Sheesh. So that's good. Excellent. Nice. So everybody is off to the races, and what do we got here? How much do we end up with in terms of barley? 86,000 liters of barley. That's not terrible. Not too bad at all. So now we have this field that's open and ready to be done something. We need to do something with this field again. So I think what we'll do is maybe we did wheat, barley, and we'll do canola, I think, maybe. But we need to deal with the straw and then the manure as well. So we have a front loader now, but is it going to be tall enough? Ooh, that's a good question, actually. Because the problem is we have this bunker over here, but I don't think we would be able to fill a trailer with it at all. Not with a skid steer, at least. We'd have to get something a bit bigger than that. Just a tinsy-wincy bit bigger. Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's even a ramp over here or anything. I don't think I have any placeable ramps installed at the moment. No. So this thing is actually filled with manure, essentially. So what happened was it didn't ferment properly because it didn't compact it properly, so it's actually manure. That's what it's classified as, at least. It's kind of like compost, essentially, but that's fine for us. All right, we can actually make a lot of this easily, because we have if you look, because we have all this grass and we can make that into chaff very easily. So that's a possibility as well, and that could help for future fields, perhaps. So, anyways, folks, that'll be it for me for today. My name's Iain Robson. It's been an episode of Farming Simulator 2015, coming at you from Valley East, USA. And if you enjoyed yourself, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Catch you guys later.